The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Sean.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning and happy Monday. What are we looking at? It is October 16th, and would you look at that, right on the dot, it's 5:30.
Love it.
We're pretty
Sounds
great
so
over
nice.
here. Pretty great over here.
Beautiful thing.
I just finished up 2 weeks of house and dog sitting, and after all that, I can safely say I missed having a dog in my bed last night.
Oh, poor Sean. Did you wear your dog clothes to bed just so that you could, still feel like you had a dog with you with all that hair?
No, I didn't. But if I wore clothes, I would. But
On your bucket list for house sitting there was to see the Northern Lights while sitting in their wonderful hot tub. Did it happen?
not in the hot tub, but I did see them. They had it's a nice dark area. I did see them while I was outside, but not in the hot tub. But whatever, you can't, beggars can't be choosers, that type of thing. It was pretty electric. And I'm just going to miss the dogs.
Oh, you're just back on harping on the dogs. Not going to miss the hot tub, just the dogs.
Yeah, that's like the main thing I thought about.
In case the radio's playing for them right now, would you like to say anything to them?
Yeah, buddy, you're great. I love you. Diamond, keep being you. Keep being that anxiety-ridden dog that needs all the attention in the world, because I love the attention back. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
And buddy, you're the best dog that has ever graced this earth. So
thanks for the memories.
I love both of you.
Never change. We are so blessed with the comfiest seats in our theater.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I've experienced them a good bit in the past couple of months. I like it.
Yeah, and just recliners, and then people kind of bring, blankets and stuff. Feel like
Guilty.
they're in their living room.
Heated seats in there if you upgrade.
Yeah, just a great time. Saturday night, I went to see Taylor Swift.
Oh,
It was awesome.
yeah.
And I went to a very late show.
Oh.
As we know, the Taylor Swift concert is 3 hours plus.
Yes, it's like almost the whole thing. She left out a little bit, but
Yeah, she left some surprises for the people who are paying more than $15 a ticket to see it. But it is long, and so the show started at 10:30.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You went to a 3-hour show at 10:30?
And I think the theater was kind of like, we don't want to have an awkward moment of having to wake these people up by the end of the night.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they put their coldest setting of air conditioning on in that room.
What?
It was freezing.
Usually that makes me fall asleep like a nice, easy sleep if it's cold.
Really?
Yeah.
That kept me awake. I was just like, I'm so cold. I kept holding my whole fist over top of my nose because my nose was just next level. It felt like it had been out in the -30 for an hour. It was so frozen. So there was no risk of anyone falling asleep. Not that there were many people in there, because it was showing in 3 different theaters at the same time.
That is
It was
nuts.
Crazy. But I just want to say, if you're going to go to the late show, they know you're going to fall asleep, and you should bring a blanket to make sure you can.
Group of 4 of us went out Friday night, and we had just an incredible time and experience, not only with just the camaraderie of the foursome of us, but also our waiter joined in to make it a fivesome.
Yeah, totally. It was so funny. We were all just hanging out, and then all of a sudden, he pulled up a chair and he was like, hey, I'm just wiping the same spot on the bar right now, so I may as well come over and hang out with you. What are we talking about?
Yeah, and you're in the service world for a long time before radio. When that comes up, do you ask the people if they want their bill or something? What's not the professional, but what's the kind of cordial way of being you're the only, or there's tables are winding down, we're closing in a half hour?
Yeah, usually I would do a little walk by and be like, hey, can I refill your drinks at all? Just want to let you know last call's in 10 minutes. If there's anything I can get you. No, I can't. Is it okay if we square up so that I can do my cash out and things like that? But you're welcome to stay until we close.
Yeah. He did not want any of that. I think he wanted the place to open up even longer, because he pulled up a chair and we just started talking about everything.
Yeah, he asked us if we had any jokes, which I always have a few really lame jokes in my back pocket. So messing with the wrong person there.
That's right.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm about to unload a firestorm of lame jokes that you have to awkwardly laugh at.
That's right.
But then as well, he said, I'm going to show you something. I'll be right back. And the man comes back with a deck of cards.
He was ready to perform. He's very social and very extroverted, and so he was just made for this like server in waiting gig. And I think he was pretty stoked that there was no other table, so he could just like perform for us.
Yeah, sit down and show off. It was so funny. He starts doing card tricks. He had multiple of them,
Yeah.
and I was like, I thought that he was asking us kind of to leave, and now I think he wants us to stay.
I think so. He's like, let me grab a round for everyone type of thing. And so
Yeah.
it was just hilarious. And on top of that all, we learned that he just moved here like 6 days ago. And so he's just starting up a brand new position and everything. And so that was very exciting. And then he asked what we do. We said, we're on the radio and we're going to talk about you today. So that's what we're doing right now. So big shout out to him. We gave him the podcast and everything.
Yeah, so he'll probably hear this. I'm guessing he's sleeping right now because he's a late night waiter. But oh my gosh. Hello, Cole.
Over the course of the last 2 weeks of dog sitting, I've been going out a lot right at like sunset and just walking the dogs one last time during the night before it's pitch black and all the
and
monsters
cold
are out.
Yes.
Just walking in the dark. Not going to do that, especially with all the bears around and everything. And one thing that I noticed when I was going out for these sunset walks is I am my mother and my father's kid 100%.
You are? Why?
I just found myself taking like 700 pictures of the sunset and being like, wow, that is so nice. And then just looking at my phone gallery and be like, what am I doing with all these?
Yeah, I find it hard because your phone just never does it justice.
Yeah.
Like the sunsets here are second to none. They are so beautiful. The sky is so big compared to Ontario, at least.
Yeah.
But then when I look at it, I'm just like, this is just a picture of like my messy backyard with the sky in it.
And the ombre of all the colors you don't quite get on the phone either, of it just switching from one to the other. And then how widespread from left to right, like the whole expansive view that you get of everything. I'm taking it all in. I bring my phone home. I'm like, well, whatever. I'll still post it on Instagram. But. And then I did that so many days in a row. I'm like, what am I doing over here? My parents are retired and doing this. I'm doing it while still young and active at 30.
Next thing you know, you're going to have a bird app. You're going to be like, I already know what that bird is.
Right? It was in the App
retired at
Store.
30.
I was about to download it. I'm like, no, stop. That's not for another 30 years.
Piano Theater puts on some amazing productions, and this past weekend, no exception.
Past 2 weekends probably, eh?
Yes, yeah. They had Clue going on for Thanksgiving weekend, and then Saturday was their final night.
Wow.
And at the last second, we bought tickets to it. We're like, we can't miss this. And I am so glad we did.
I heard rave reviews and I'm very upset that I didn't get a ticket.
Yeah, the cast was astounding. Like, it was so funny. I was laughing so loud. And a friend of mine one time, I said, like, you did a great job in a play last night. And she's like, I knew you were in the crowd. I heard your laugh. And I was like,
way.
oh dear. And like, I think I laughed twice as loud as I did at this one. It was so good. And I have to give a shout out to Zenon Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, every second line I think was his. And
Wow.
for 2 straight hours, he just was there, knew everything. It was amazing.
And how was just like the set detail and like the costumes and everything?
Wow. Yes, the set was like so intricate. So because they had 8 different rooms for Clue, and so then they were constantly like the backdrop folded into like,
Wow.
suddenly you're there in the ballroom, and then it would fold a different way and
Interesting.
pull out. It was kind of like a pop-up book of different
Yeah.
things. It was so neat. And so then at the end, after it all was said and done, because we bought our tickets so last minute, we were in the very front row. Like
yeah.
the wall of the stage was our faces. I was like, we have to give these people a standing ovation. I don't want to block anyone's view from the bow, though, so I need to wait until everybody else stands up. And so I kept clapping and kind of like trying to look to the side, like, are we standing yet? What's going on? But they only did one bow, and then it was over.
Aw.
And so I stood up like as they were standing up after
Yeah.
their first vow, because I was like, I cannot wait any longer. And then they were off the stage and it was over. And so the rest of the crowd, when I turned around, was all standing as well. But it was just like, I didn't have enough time to thank you and
Yeah.
appreciate and
Yeah.
show my appreciation for how good you were. Do not sleep on Piano Theater
Yeah.
shows. They're so good.
Yeah, and it's not going on anymore, so you can tell us who did it with what and where.
Oh, I can't remember the characters' names. I'm not going to spoil it because there is a 90s movie that you could also watch.
Okay.
But it was
All right,
it was great.
fine.
It was so good.
Colonel
It was
Mustard, the
twisty.
wrench in the kitchen. No, I don't know.
Close. No, kidding. Not revealing.
The Monday after.
I had a jam-packed weekend. It was so full that yesterday, when I finally had some time to myself, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Clean my cast iron pans.
Oh, is there like a process for it or anything? Like,
Yes, cast iron is one of those things where you try and not put soap on it and you try to
Yeah.
season it and everything, and then you accidentally burn something on there and you have to start the process all
Yeah.
over again.
yeah.
And we cooked a turkey in our cast iron pan on the fire last week.
Uh-huh.
And in hindsight, I would definitely put some parchment paper between the onion layer on the bottom and the turkey, but I did not do
Yeah.
that. And so I had to use a drywall scraper yesterday.
Jeez. Yeah. The parchment and tinfoil has been a major addition to my household for the past year because I remember messing up one of my pads. I'm like, yeah, this would have been better.
Yeah, totally. And I will do that from now on if I remember. But definitely yesterday I was trying to video it and because I thought I better make some content out of this. And I had to use both hands and the drywall
You
scraper.
need a GoPro.
Oh,
You need a GoPro. Film that POV version of it.
okay, Sean. You
Of the
might be
scrubbing.
onto something here.
Expensive with the work. It's content creation, right?
There we go.
Have you ever found here in Fort McMurray, when you go to an event, you can casually start talking to someone, and then usually you can find like a 6th degree of separation of like, oh, you know them, me too. And then you can kind of bond a little bit on that.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, whether it's everyone, because everyone's from somewhere, is what I always say when I talk about Fort McMurray. There's the homegrown and raised and everyone, but there's a ton of people just from somewhere. So you always talk about your travels and everything.
Yeah. Lots of transplants.
That's what happened on Saturday morning. It was a very easy morning. It was myself, it was your husband, it was our other news reporter, John, and then there was this other homie there. His name was Cole. He's a teacher in the community. He was around my age. And we just started talking, introducing each other. He's from Sudbury, which
Sudbury?
is the Wolves
Yeah, sure.
hockey team, just like
The Big Nickel.
and you're from the Sioux.
Yes.
And
so 3
those,
hours away.
Yeah, they're like northern communities. They're not Toronto.
Yeah, they're not Toronto, but they're not that far north in Ontario, and you can keep driving
Right.
20 more hours north.
Right. And so I mentioned, and I was just like, oh, so I was with your husband we were watching the solar eclipse, and I was with your husband. I was like, oh, not only this guy's wife, but my co-host is from the Sioux. And so we start talking about Northern Ontario a little bit and just the region. This is the first time I've ever met this guy. And then we brought up Manitoulin Island, this tiny little place where you have like a cottage or whatever.
Yeah, I would like to say Manitoulin Island isn't tiny. Where my cottage is on the island is, but it's the largest freshwater island in
There
the
we
world.
go.
Come on.
That's right. But I mean, when you bring up Manitoulin
Yeah.
Island, only a select few are going to like
True, very
really
true.
know
I'm an
where,
advocate for the island.
like where it is, what area of the province and everything. Oh, I know that like the back of my hand, he says. I grew up there. I was like, holy crap. So then I was like, God, him and I were just having a conversation. So then I dragged over your husband. I was like, you might know this guy.
Yeah.
We start trickling it down. And so I think your husband relayed the conversation to you because you weren't there.
Yeah.
It was this guy's cousins that you bought this cottage from or
Yeah,
something.
bought this cottage from
Oh,
his
my
cousins,
goodness.
grew up with him, kind of. His older brother was my age, and so we used to hang out all summer long at Manitoulin Island together. And we're old friends. I stood in a wedding that his dad was the
Wow.
MC for, and he was in the wedding
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, we've been lifelong acquaintances and friends. And then all of a sudden, this little brother is just like, yeah, I know Manitoulin. I know your
Oh.
wife.
Yeah, he was texting his parents throughout the whole morning of like the eclipse, and he was just relaying like it was just hilarious. So like the 6 degrees, it was like, no, we literally have bumped shoulders and crossed paths type of thing.
Totally. I've walked where you've walked.
I came across another advancement in the AI world that usually I'm pretty good with these, but this is kind of tipping me over the edge here.
Tell us about it, Sean.
Yeah, Meta, who owns Facebook, Instagram, who knows what else. They have paid out celebrities for their likeness for a 2-year contract, and they have created AI profiles on Instagram. I'm looking at them right now. It's like when you're talking to ChatGPT or that Snapchat bot thing or any of the AI things, but now they have a face to them and it's a celebrity that you know.
Okay.
And they have a profile curated.
And does the celebrity talk back to you like they're that person,
Yeah.
or is it just their picture?
Yeah. It's everything is curated, kind of like they get their likeness and everything, so they can use it. So you're buddy's buddy with a celebrity, but they don't use their name. For instance, Kendall Jenner is one of the likeness that got bought. Oh, who knows? Millions of dollars. They're using it for 2 years. Her Instagram handle, if you want to look it up right now, your sis Billie, Billie.
Weird.
Yeah. And then they have a profile. They have an Instagram profile and they have a bio that makes it sound like they're a real person. Your local ride or die. NYC. Message me to get started. And then it has like food pictures on their profile from New York and all these different things. And you can message them and they'll act like they're your friend.
Okay, this is just making me so scared. Like,
Yeah.
why are we going so online that we're looking for fake friends? Like, and I feel like this was predicted way back when there was, that movie with the teddy bear that was the little
Yeah.
boy's friend, and he talked to him, and then all of a sudden, of course, the teddy bear runs out of battery, and then you're alone again.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're in a very strange state right now.
It is. And Kendall Jenner's not the only one. Paris Hilton is on there. Her name is Amber the Detective.
Amber the Detective. What's she going to do? Help you creep your friends?
I don't know. Tom Brady's on there. His name's Game On Brew. Mr. Beast is on here. Comedy Zach. The list goes on. There's like 30 of them. They all follow each other. And the profiles do say when you click on it, AI managed by Meta. So at least they give you that little bit of a heads up that you are talking to a bot and not actually like Kendall Jenner.
I find it interesting, all of these celebrities that you've named, they have a ton of money. Like, I don't think any amount of money is really going
Allegedly.
to change their lives, Like Kendall Jenner, come on now.
Yeah.
Paris Hilton, Tom Brady, does
Yeah.
he really need any more money?
Yeah.
And I find it strange that in the state that they're probably in where they don't need more money, that they were willing to sell their likeness
Yes.
for millions. Because why? And then kind of what precedent are we setting that we suddenly are becoming friends, quote unquote, with these like weird bot versions? And yeah, I don't know, Sean. I don't like it.
Yeah, slowly, one by one. I was fine with a lot of the other AI things that happened, but this is almost too much for me. It's pushing it over for me.
From entertainment to music and anything in between, this is The Buzz.
Britney Spears has a new book coming out, and a famous voice is going to read it. No, not hers. Michelle Williams will be taking the mic.
Yeah, I think this is so interesting. Someone else is going to read this. She just went through such an up and down wild experience. You think her voice telling the story would give it like the most context on what's most important to highlight? But hey, maybe someone else can do it better.
And as the headlines continue to follow Taylor Swift and her apparent new relationship with Travis Kelce, the claims seem more and more legit. Saturday night, they were no longer just at the same football game, but they actually made cameos on SNL and attended the after party, where Travis told Taylor's security guard he could take it from there.
Yeah, look at the big bad football guy protecting his babe over there. And to think it all started with a friendship bracelet. I'm taking notes over here.
Kokanee Comedy Night returns this month to Rivers Casino. It's actually this Thursday night. We got Danny Martinello, the headlining comedian, on the phone. Danny, what are you up to right now?
Oh, just producing oil and production here at the lovely tar sands.
That's what we love to hear.
Fort McMurray, thanks too.
You know what I mean? I'm coming to Fort McMurray, so I decided to act the part even more.
Now, does that give you content?
Oh, yeah, it gives me content and context.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no, it's a good group of guys up here, so it's been pretty fun just getting some inside scoops of what's going on in the day-to-day life of Fort McMurray.
Do they know that you do comedy as well?
Oh yeah, we got a gang coming out here on the 19th, so it should be fun.
Ooh, that's exciting. I'm excited that you're going to fill the room just with your friends, so we should get our tickets early, you're saying?
Yeah, get the tickets early, come on down, and don't be too scared of the rowdies coming through.
I remember when you came through last year, I had the pleasure of hosting. You're high energy all the time, and I absolutely love it. Are you continuing on with the high energy train?
Oh, for sure. Just like Suncor, high output as well.
I gotta say, you also make the best faces while you're doing your act. Do you practice those in the mirror?
Yeah, my mom and dad always told me, stop making those faces, but now I'm getting paid for them, so it's all good.
There we go. Weren't they wrong?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it should be a fun show. I'm excited. It's always a riot coming here, so the crowds are fun, and I give it all, just like theater school, 110%. Put the body and the face in production.
Now, you weren't always in Fort McMurray doing some work up here. You've kind of traveled a little bit, right, with your comedy?
Yeah. So I'm getting my visa approved to the States. So then I was out in Toronto for like 8 years, and then would just come out here for a tour. But then I closed up shop out east, and then came out west. So decided to make a couple extra bucks, and then hang out with my parents and really get to my Alberta roots, and make a couple extra bucks. So I can't leave this country without saying, I got some money from the oil sands.
Like a true Canadian. I love it.
Yeah, the hearts and the arts, but sometimes you got to get spoiled by the oil. So
That's great.
Okay, so next Thursday night we want to come and see you at Rivers Casino. Anything to add?
No, not really. It's going to be a good time. We got Ryan Short opening up the show, and be some nice. We got some good merch shirts for the gang here, and it'll be a good time. I'd love to see all the lovely faces out and have a good time. I see a lot of sad faces walking around the Coke rallies here, so it'd be nice to see some smiles at the show.
I love it. Danny Martinella will be at Rivers Casino Thursday night. Come and check him out. Doors open at 6 and the laughs start at 8. Thanks, Danny.
No worries. Thank you.
It's been a ton of fun, but it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah, some, I guess, major news to share as well with the show and everything moving forward.
I'm not sure I'm ready for this news, Sean.
I know. It's my last week in Fort McMurray.
Yep.
That's a lot to say right there. It hits hard a little bit.
It really does, and I think I'm going to go cry right now, even though I've probably known for a while. My heart is really broken.
Yeah.
I feel like we're breaking up.
Yeah, it's tough. Just I can't say quite yet what. Well, I know what the future holds for me, but I can't quite say. So I hope to share my future endeavors in the coming weeks here. But an opportunity arose and decided to roll with it, and so I'm. It's bittersweet. I'm moving on, and I have 4 point little bit of shows left. I have 4 shows left. Today's almost over.
Yeah, and we are going to make them really fun, and we've got a little bit of stuff planned for it. So keep listening for that, and definitely, if you have any well wishes, please send them Sean's way, because he's just a shining light in my life, and I'm sure in your mornings as well. And we wish you all the best as we continue to be friends and check in on you, Sean.
Yeah. So for, I guess, the 5th last time, if you want to say hi to your dogs for me, I would really appreciate that.
We hope your day's looking on the bright side.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.